Welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. BTC made a surprise move over the weekend on Sunday. Now, don't worry, we don't have a new CME gap here at all for Bitcoin, but this has been a very interesting past couple of days. We'll say that much. The fact that the price actually pumped about 1% on Sunday back above overhead resistance, yet again, is a wild move for sure. Now, volume really wasn't there because it's a weekend day. It's Sunday. It's pretty normal for a weekend. But other things to keep in mind is that on-balance volume keeps creeping higher, which is great. So is the moving average. And of course, we have our bull flag here. Now, let's just remove the word bull flag from it. We have overhead resistance. There should be a break to the top side. We had one break on Thursday, got rejected on Friday. Saturday, Sunday, it goes back above. Now, this is a really, really strange position to be in for BTC. And again, it really just needs to hold above this resistance level for at least 3 days in order for it to be confirmed as broken. So we have 1 day above and we broke our streak. So now we are on 1 day. So we need 1, 2. So if Bitcoin can continue to hold above this resistance line for another 2 days, then it should be confirmed broken and we should be seeing the general outcome, which is higher, not down there, but going up higher towards here. And now how high? Well, the target that I've shared with you before, and I think it's a reasonable target, is up here at 121 would be the next logical target. We do have Crypto Week as dubbed by Congress. That'll be happening a week from now. So one possibility is that this might be a buy the rumor, sell the news event. I don't know. It's still weird. We do have Trump signing the big, beautiful bill on Friday. We're looking at Bitcoin starting out the week pretty nicely, to be honest. It's all a little bit strange. Now, the one thing to keep in mind that is a definite is that we have this previous high here at 110,530. On this pump on Thursday, the high here was 110,529. If the price of Bitcoin can miraculously pump up here and exceed that, there is a huge chance that we're going to be able to break the all-time high here at 111,980 and continue moving up to 121. Now, again, I want to make it super clear. The ultimate outcome for this bull flag or resistance level, whatever you want to call it, but the ultimate path for this, the ultimate direction is going higher. Whether it takes longer, whether it does, basically it's going to happen today, the ultimate outcome is to the top side. Now, when we look at the TBO indicator, the good thing that's happening right now, and this has been a slow process, but the good thing that's happening is this line right here, which is the TBO Slow line. Just think of this as the slowest moving average that makes up the 4 lines of the TBO cloud. It's starting to curl upward. This is a positive sign because this tells me that bullish momentum is growing. Now, the other positive thing is that the price remains above the cloud, but you can clearly see that the price yesterday did not close, even though it pierced with that long upper wick, but it did not close above resistance at 109,284. That's the number to beat right now. We already saw a pierce of this on Thursday, got rejected on Friday. This is one of the reasons why I love using the TBO indicator. Isn't it wild that this is the price point that's being respected instead of it being drawn up here or over here? This is why I love this indicator. Now, I want to show you something else. On the weekly time frame, there's a couple of things to consider. One, the moving average of our weekly volume, which is a 30 SMA, is pointing down, which is bearish. I know it's not what you want me to show you or to talk about, but we need to acknowledge the fact that, yes, Bitcoin is nearing all-time highs, and yet volume is just way down. What's going on? There's no interest right now in BTC at these prices. It's still really, really expensive, in my opinion. But a break to a new all-time high should bring in more volume. Another positive thing to consider is that weekly on-balance volume continues to move up higher and higher, and the moving average is generally moving up higher. We do have a spike up here at 18.94 million, which is going to take a lot of volume for us to get up there. But again, this is the right trajectory to have. Weekly RSI has not closed back above 70 since it did so back in mid-May. The thing to consider is that when RSI on the weekly time frame is above 70, this is an indication that we should continue to be strong bullish. We had a slight pullback, and now we're starting to move up higher. The one thing to consider, again, I'm not trying to be bearish. I'm just pointing out the obvious truth. When we start to see a pattern of lower highs, it's not a good sign until we get enough energy to push above and then go up higher. Yes, we can chart RSI, and we definitely should be. On the weekly time frame, the weekly slow line is pointing up aggressively, even though the price is trapped underneath resistance here at 110.718. I'm still expecting a positive bullish breakout to the upside. Again, 121 should be an easy target. It just depends on when it happens. One other thing to consider is that, yes, the stop loss hunting indicator is still firing. It fired more recently yesterday at 1:30 a.m. So we still have another day or so for this thing to keep ring-a-ding-dinging. But I do expect it to continue to be accurate in that we have wild, unexpected volatility in either direction, both to the top side and to the bottom. This is really, really standard for that indicator to let us know that's what's happening. Ethereum, of course, will always be benefiting from whatever Bitcoin is doing. So Ethereum closed up 2% and back above the cloud yesterday. That's great. But the best thing for this chart right now, see this? It's almost like Wile the Coyote or Wile E. Coyote doing like a quick stop before he's falling off the cliff. He's like, "Arr!" So we can see this. I don't know what that had to do with anything. Maybe less coffee tomorrow, Aaron. Maybe a little bit less. But the main thing is that the slow line is starting to flatten out. And that's a positive sign. We want to ultimately see the slow line do this and curl up to tell us that there is now bullish momentum, especially on the daily time frame for a chart that's been heavily oversold. Now, the other things to keep in mind that are positive, not with the TBO, but on balance volume is now up. It's back above this moving average. It's going to take way more energy and positive buying, positive volume to curl the moving average higher. But this is a great sign for Ethereum. Now, on the weekly, just so you know, it's still looking not so great. It's still trapped inside of the weekly cloud. We are above the weekly moving average here for on balance volume, but it's not moving up yet. It will eventually, but it's still not a pretty looking chart just yet, but it will be soon. I do believe that. Bitcoin dominance is one that's also worth paying attention to. I've told people this in the Better Traders Club in my updates. Seeing all of these opens and closes just above the cloud, but all of these little pierces. Think of it like if you've ever done that science experiment in school where you take a balloon, you blow it up, and you put duct tape over it, and then you pierce it with a nail or like a push pin. Yes, it doesn't necessarily deflate right away, but if you keep doing it over and over, you will weaken the surface of the balloon till finally it does shrink down. And that's what I believe that we're witnessing right now. The best thing that we could see for alts is for Bitcoin dominance to drop, ideally to print one of these blue diamonds, which is a TBO Close Long, which is a confirmation that we should have a bearish pullback. We want to see that print on the daily time frame, and we want to see stablecoin dominance fall. Now, interestingly enough, because Sunday was such a great close for Bitcoin and alts, stablecoin dominance fell down as well. And we didn't test necessarily our support line here. And yes, we have another TBO open short in progress, but we literally just started today's candle 18 minutes ago. So we really can't say, oh yeah, this is an open short. Just like we saw back over here and it pumped. Not saying it's going to pump, but we just can't jump to conclusions yet. But what I'm trying to say is that once we see stablecoin dominance fall and close below support, below this white line, that's going to be a bullish sign because both stablecoin dominance and Bitcoin dominance falling will tell alts pump, pump, pump. Now, top 10 dominance did close inside of the daily TBO cloud, but it's not enough for it to be like a wow event, in my opinion. One positive thing is that on balance volume is above the moving average, but I really don't like looking at this because this isn't really a volume-based chart. It's all percentages. So it's really difficult for me to make that assumption. But one positive thing that I can use is we can look at weekly RSI. Now, weekly RSI closed up at 33.38 for last week. We really want to see it push above this overhead resistance level, which could take some time. But once it does, this should be an extremely bullish signal that top 10 tokens are going to be pumping again, which is great. We want to see this happen because that means that other coins will be moving up as well. As the saying goes, a rising tide lifts all ships. Now, I want to also share a couple of other charts here online with you. Altcoin Season Index, you guys probably are aware of this chart already. This is a free resource that anyone can use. It's currently at 29, and it's actually above the Bitcoin season line at 25. And it did this yesterday, I believe. Yep. So it's back above. This is a nice sign. One thing I'm looking at for this, though, is that we're going to see this continue to chop. We did kind of hit a low right here at 11. The last time we were there, I have to scroll down here. When we were at 11 was back over, July 2024. So this doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we're going to be moving all the way up here. And by that way, when we get to altcoin season, when it's actually at 75, it's too late. We want to be watching this to see when it's starting to move up higher. So the number to beat right now is about 35 or so. This number right here, 33. When we start to see it really start to move up higher, that's going to be a very positive sign that alts are really taking off. And I think that's going to continue to happen. Now, the best way to be prepared for that, of course, is going to thebettertraders.com. Check the link in the description or down below this video. The ideal course for anyone, if you're new to automated crypto trading, is 15 minutes to financial freedom. But we do have a 4th of July sale where you can save up to $750 off of our advanced courses, whether it's Mastering Passive Income, which is an advanced bot trading course, or the Smarter Trader, which is an advanced active trading course teaching you scalping strategies, swing trading strategies using the TBO Pro, using a lot of different stuff. And both of these courses come with a 3-month trial to the Better Traders Club Pro tier, which gives you access to everything, including the TBO Pro, the DCA Backtester Pro, the TBT Divergence Indicator, which is awesome, which is part of the free TBT signals that we have at the Better Traders, which are actually doing really well. I want to share this with you over here on All Trading. Now, this is a position opened up by the TBT signals, the free ones that are available on All Trading. It's not unusual to see them be in a red bag like this for 25 days. It's really not. Some of them close like super duper fast. Sometimes they take a month. Sometimes they take longer than a month. But the reality is that when you zoom out, when you understand DCA bot trading, and you see all this wild price action where it's going down and up, 42, let me take off that magnet. That's annoying. So like moving up 50%, then losing all of that, then going back up, and then losing all of that, and then going back up. Crypto charts oscillate so much. Now, the reality is that if I was going to be really aggressive with this and actively trade it, man, there's so many great opportunities like right here. Just add an extra position to buy more on the dip and it would have already sold on the bounce. But I don't want to touch these ones. I'm trying to show you what hands-free bot trading looks like. It's very tempting. But I do expect both of these positions right here to close on the next pop, which is only a move up of like 10%, which for Shiba Inu is nothing, especially when we look at the charts and what's happening right now with meme coins. So our first, today's picks, these two blue flags right here are pointing out some TBO breakout action that's happening on the 4-hour time frame. Now, FLOKI, which is FLOKI is a meme. It's more of like a Doge-based meme, so it's a doggy-based meme. It printed a TBO breakout here very early this morning, and it's only one. We don't see any more of these yet, but it is interesting. I do expect to see more of these happening, mainly because of what's been happening with BONK, again, another dog-based meme coin, which is why I'm looking at this going, it's going to probably pop and hit that take profit target this week, if not today, based off of everything that I see happening right now. Another chart to keep in mind, which is a weird one, admittedly, but XDC on KuCoin, this one has a TBO breakout cluster. Not perfect, 3 in a row, but it is interesting, especially noting the fact that it also printed a TBO close short. Now, this one is pretty high, 9% above our support level here. But we can see that volume yesterday was pretty decent, and I do expect XDC to at least pump a little bit more. It has some wild moves, and we haven't seen it really pop. The last time we saw one of these was back over here, and it was a failed one. But back over here, we saw a nice move, at least of 16%. So if we see it retrace back to the TBO fast line, which is the expected behavior, moving at 15% would be right there. I think that's doable for XDC. Now, the orange flags here are pointing out TBO close shorts, which are my favorite reversal indicators. And by the way, I've totally forgot to mention to you that I shared a video about the crypto screeners that are available here on TradingView this past weekend, and it's awesome. And you got to watch that video. I'll make sure to link it at the end of this one. But I need to push forward a little bit more. So XRP, we already saw these two TBO close shorts, which are my favorite reversal indicators. But on the 4-hour time frame, we're starting to see this flash some signals that, yeah, we're having retracements, we're having TBO close shorts, but I do think that XRP is going to continue to push higher. Now, the obvious challenge it has to do right now is it has to close above the daily TBO cloud. But when we zoom out, I just want to give you a little bit of a tip without saying anything specific because I can't give away secrets. But in the Smarter Trader course, this is a massive, massive setup. Again, you guys know I don't really like XRP that much, but it's hard to ignore that this is a pretty incredible setup that's happening for this chart. Litecoin printed a third TBO close short here on Saturday, which is awesome. I'm excited because I'm also holding this position. Now, isn't it interesting too that these resistance fan lines are being respected? This is not the ultimate level of resistance here. This is actually the second level of resistance. But look at how these closes and even this wick is respecting this. So this tells me that when the price of Litecoin moves above this level, it will be significant. And the fact that we're seeing 3 of these, even though they're super duper high above support, the fact that we're seeing 3 of these in close proximity is a very bullish reversal sign, at least to me. Beam, you guys remember this one from last week. On Thursday, it pumped up about 8% from the open to the close. It retraced back to the fast line, and it actually popped again yesterday, 10%, and printed a second TBO close short. Now, this one is still really high above support, so it's not as exciting. But like I've said before, when we see lots of these happening, even if they're really high above support, it is a very bullish reversal signal. Hex, congratulations, everybody. Good grief. I shared this TBT bullish divergence signal. Again, this is part of the pro tier in the Better Traders Club. And it also comes with the Smarter Trader and Mastering Passive Income courses as well for 3 months. This one, since printing that, is up 20%, pretty incredible. And yesterday pumped up 14% and printed a TBO close short. Now, this is really, really similar to what we saw back over here. So we ideally want to wait to get an entry when we have a pullback to this thick green line, or if it's pink right here, which is the TBO fast line, and then trade it up to resistance, which resistance is up here at about 0.003. But again, Hex is just one of those charts it's very dependable. It has lots of great waves. Grass, this one on the 4-hour time frame, once it wakes up, has 4 TBO close shorts, and these are 9%. It's a little bit high above, but again, I just can't help but look at this chart and go, I feel like this thing is going to pop. I don't know why. I just do get one of those weird feelings. RSR printed another TBO close short on Saturday. Same thing with Morpho, actually yesterday. So we have 4 TBO close shorts. Again, this is a setup that I pay a lot of attention to. I know these aren't really amazing charts in general, but for trading, there's a lot of possibilities on these charts. The green tags here indicate some bullish price action to pay attention to. BONK, you may remember me talking about this last week because BONK was showing some really interesting volume, especially back over here. Whenever we see volume start to really outdo the moving average, just day over day over day, pay attention. Now, this is probably the top pump. We might see BONK go up higher, but anytime we see volume just pump massively like this, and it's a Sunday, which is a low liquidity day, I do get a little bit suspicious about it being able to continue moving up higher. And the reason for that is pretty simple, because we saw the same thing happen for Kaya. When we saw a massive, massive pump here for Kaya, that's usually the top. That's the top blast. Even though we will see the price go up a little bit higher, we want to be cautious about trying to ape into something that's already pumped up, from back over here, 57%. It could still go up higher. And remember, we had these TBO breakouts on the 4-hour time frame on Saturday. And from these breakouts, the price moved up 22%, which is pretty wild. Say, this one has not yet touched the TBO fast line, but it looks like it's going to do a springboard bounce up here to resistance at 31 cents. Aave had a nice close up 5%. More notably, we're looking at the on-balance volume, this blue jagged line being above the moving average. We really want to see the moving average curl up, but the fact is that the price is still strong bullish above the daily TBO cloud. Slow line is starting to curl up. We do have a target of 376. TIA had a good close, up 8%. Note that, again, we're seeing some bullish momentum building with on-balance volume. We are seeing the price close inside of the cloud, although it's struggling to stay inside of the cloud. But that's TIA, and that's been the story of TIA for a while. And just JST, this one was close to printing on TBO Open Long yesterday. It has another one in progress today. This one's super risky and super duper choppy. But if we start getting into low cap memes, doing lots of crazy stuff, then this might be a good one. Now, a couple of warning signs for you. Again, this is a good example. Pengu had a really great move and a huge burst of volume last Wednesday, but note what's happened since then. When volume starts dying, pay attention. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean the price is going to dump right away. This was the big pump. We saw the price shoot up another 11%, but since then, volume dying down equals a loss, or rather a lack of interest, plus the price came up to resistance. Now, it doesn't mean that it's dead. Pengu is a meme, so we could see Pengu continue to move up higher, but we're starting to see rotation from meme to meme to meme right now, at least in my opinion. Oh, and the reason why this is pink is because it printed a TBT bearish divergence cluster here on Saturday's 5 p.m. Well, at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Arrow, this one has a blue flag to let us know that there is a TBO Close Long, which is the bearish reverse or the bearish inverse of a TBO Close Short. So we're expecting Arrow to shoot up here to the TBO fast line at 75 cents or so. Kaya, this one has yet to move up to the TBO fast line, but it looks like it might be happening today, especially with this nice close above the 382, and it's starting to slowly move up. Maker, this one had a TBO close long, and again, just a couple days later, it moved right back up to the fast line. Again, I'm sharing this with you guys because when we see these are typically bullish reversal bounces, but it's macro bearish. It's not really the best sign, especially seeing lots of these happening in a short amount of time. Now, for some must-watch charts, Solana had a good close, almost 3%. It's still trapped inside of the daily TBO cloud. Volume's still pretty lacking, but on-balance volume is starting to curl up, specifically its moving average, which is a positive sign. On the weekly, it had a really lame close. Volume is really bad. On-balance volume is really bad. But on the daily, I'm still waiting for this one to have a nice pop up here to 178 at least. But we are seeing the fact that we're getting these higher lows, but it is making basically a wedge formation there. WIF continues to move up higher, and it's probably going to break above resistance, especially if charts like BONK and Pengu are pumping right now, other memes, right? So WIF is a meme. We should see it pump as well and benefit from all this stuff. And speaking of memes, we got to talk about the granddaddy of all memes, Dogecoin, which is still pretty bearish. It did close inside of the daily TBO cloud, which is good, but it also did this on Thursday and fell below it. But the main thing to keep an eye on right now is RSI is growing, volume's not. On-balance volume did have a bullish cross above the moving average. We are seeing a change or a switch to bullish consolidation, but it's still a pretty weak looking chart. There's not a lot of interest yet. Honestly, I personally feel like Dogecoin has already had its moment in the sun years ago, like way, way, way back over here. Not even in 2024. Like, let me go back. This is when it was Dogecoin season, back in 2020, literally 5 years ago. So I don't expect Dogecoin to do anything similar. I think it's a much better idea to look at new memes that are similar or in that same dog cat kind of thing if you're really into memes like that. SPX is still on my radar. Again, we're not looking at any big breakouts yet above 150 yet, but we are seeing the slow line curling upward, which is a positive sign of bullish momentum growing. We are seeing this echoed in on-balance volume, but we don't really see enough volume to go like, wow, it's really pumping now. IP, this one had a good bullish close up 8%. Volume was actually pretty good yesterday for a Sunday. This is just a pump and dump coin for now. We did have a TBT bullish divergence signal way back over here at the end of June. Note that it keeps tagging this daily TBO fast line. I expect this one to pull back down here to about 283 before it pops again, but at least it's good for trading. But I am curious to see what's going to happen because the volume that's happening right here looks like it could be a bottom. Now, Ton had this announcement about a 10-year golden visa or something like that, but I also saw something like saying, no, the UAE said, no, we're not actually doing this. But there are some benefits to paying attention to news from Coin Bureau, stuff like this, which is why I'm following them on X. So could this actually be a thing? Maybe. The bullish burst in volume is amazing, and seeing this actually pump up, from wick to wick, 12% is a good sign, but the chart is still strong bearish and has been for a long time. And of course, HNT, this one continues to be a huge pain, but patience pays. And I'm looking at this, holding this support zone and not dumping lower. I am waiting for HNT to pop higher. Now, if you want more help, actionable tips, setups, all that fun stuff, go to thebettertraders.com, go to the club, sign up for at least the starter tier to get you started. This is the perfect level for all of you crypto cheapos. If you want access to the TBO watch list, trade setups, join the trader tier. And of course, we have our 4th of July sale right now where you can save up to $750 off of mastering passive income and $600 off of the Smarter Trader. I want you guys to watch the video that I posted yesterday on the TradingView screener. The updates to this thing are fantastic, and they're going to help you identify so many amazing charts to trade. So until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.